Hi, good afternoon and welcome to our webinar on moving to Australia as a GP. How do I get there and what do I need to know? By way of introductions, my name's Ashley Garner and I'm the Director of General Practice here at Prospect Health, and I'm responsible for a number of teams who recruit for GPs to work here in the UK as well as overseas. And for the context of today's webinar, it's really regarding GPs moving to Australia to work. Presenting with me is Eze Ostler, who's one of my team members who works specifically with GPs looking to relocate to Australia. Today is the first of a number of webinars that we're going to focus on working in Australia as a GP. Today's is really going to focus on some of the key drivers for why GPs decide to move to Australia, some of the advantages and opportunities, and then we're going to go into some of the practicalities of how you register to become a GP in Australia and some of the process that you would go through on a practical level to make that move become a reality and a reality. In terms of some practicalities for the webinar today, we're going to remain in listen-only mode for the presentation. We're going to not hopefully present for too long and make it too overbearing in terms of content. So we're going to run through the presentation, myself and Eze. What we're then going to do is we're going to break off and we're going to do a Q&A session. As we go through the presentation, there's a little questions box at the top of the screen. If you want to drop any questions in there as we move through that you'd like answering, what we'll then do at the end is we've got an assistant who will read out the questions, and myself and Eze will do our very best to provide the answers to those at the end of the session. If for any reason we can't answer a question, depending on the level of detail or content, we will be sure to take that offline and reply and provide answers to those questions as a follow-up. Also, the webinar has been recorded, so it'll be shared with everybody that's registered for the webinar within the next 1 to 2 days. So you will have the opportunity to listen back to the webinar, as well as pause on certain slides to absorb more detail and take in information that you may want to at a later date, and also listen back to the questions and answers. We'll also share in the chat box mine and Eze's email addresses, so if you do have any questions post the webinar, feel free to contact us directly and we'll be glad to help over the next few days. And equally, if anyone would like to discuss any of the opportunities we have to work in Australia, feel free to contact myself and Eze. So we're going to get kicked off now. I'm going to hand over to Eze, who's going to start by presenting some information about why GPs choose to move to Australia to work and some of the opportunities available to them.